What's going on, guys? HaVoC here, and I am back. It's been a while since I hopped on Facecam, and yes, the lighting situation is still not fixed. What's going on, HaVoC? I'm sorry though, in March it'll definitely be fixed. Yes, March. This month is just also, yes, you are not blind. That is literally a HaVoC pendant right there. Oh, it's getting hot, oh my god. Anyways, today I wanted to rank all 23 brawlers in Brawl Stars because the genie just came out. And where does the genie sit? Is he good? Is he bad? Tell us, HaVoC. Well, I got the genie when it first came out, and then the game was broken, so they had to make another update to fix the update. And then I finally got to play around with the genie. I did a few solos, gem grab, heist, pretty much every game mode available. And I wanted to share my opinion on the genie. Of course, this is going to be ranking all 23 brawlers. Now, please be advised, all brawlers are good, okay? This list is just sort of ranking all of them, okay? It doesn't mean the first one is bad. It doesn't mean the last one is good or bad. I'm just saying, I'm just giving my own opinion. And if you guys want to go ahead and leave your own opinions on your own list down below in the comment section, feel free to do so and explain why. I would like to start a fire conversation. Anyways, number 23 is going to be Crow. When I first unlocked Crow, which by the way was my first legendary, I feel like everyone's first legendary is Crow for some reason. Anyways, I pushed a lot of trophies with Crow. He's pretty decent. I actually like using Crow. He's one of my highest ranked brawlers, but the problem is, it's just that it really is dependent on which map you're in and which game mode you're on. It's like you always have to check the map, check what game mode you're playing to use Crow, and it shouldn't be that way. It's a legendary, and I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, HaVoC, Crow is not the worst legendary. Come on. I'm not saying it's the worst. I'm just saying that this one is probably one of the most undiversible brawlers. Other than that, though, when you do find a match that suits Crow, he's a very nice brawler. He's not OP, but he's balanced. Number 22 is going to be Frank. My man, Frank. This guy is pretty good in Brawl Ball. Literally, the only time I use Frank is for Brawl Ball or maybe sometimes Gem Grab. He's pretty nice, and we can all agree that his super is very strong. He just freezes everybody, and there you go. Your match is pretty much over because of Frank's super. So he's decent, and if you unlock Frank right now, you might notice that he does very, very nice and Brawl Ball. But you gotta keep in mind though that Frank is also a meat shield. He's like a super magnet, if that makes any sense. Basically what that means is that brawlers can get their supers very quick because of Frank. Just attacking Frank because he has so much damage P that by the time they're on their third, fourth shots, they already have a super. So it's like, if you're going against Frank, he might be scary, but you can also get your super very quick. And you gotta keep in mind as well that Frank is slow and he is very easy to counter. So yes, he's powerful, but you can take him out pretty easily in a sap, and boom, he's gone. Number 21 is going to be Colt. Colt was actually one of my favorite brawlers when I started playing, and he still is one of my favorites. You just have to learn how to aim and just make every shot. It's not that hard. A lot of people make it seem like it's rocket science, but no, it's just aim and shoot and boom. I really don't have any complaints about Colt. I just feel like it also depends on which map you're playing, and you know, you unlock Colt pretty early on in the game, but as you go on to more and more brawlers, you start to realize that Colt can be replaced easily with other brawlers. So yeah, that's why it's pretty low on the list, but like I said, he's very decent, and I pushed with him many times. He's very good. Number 20 is going to be Piper. Obviously, I think you all know by now she is a beast at bounty because it's such just, it's like in most maps, it's a long range. And even then, because bounty is just about killing everybody, you don't really need to go for the goal or hold gems or anything with Piper in bounty. So that's why bounty is such a good game mode for Piper, because the only thing she's really good at, in my opinion, is escaping, you know, bombs and also shooting from long range. So you just need about 2 to 3 shots to kill someone and boom. With that being said though, in other game modes, I feel like Piper lacks in, you know, Brawl Ball, Gem Grab, and sometimes some Showdown maps. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, but if you want to play Piper, you might want to try her in bounty. She's very nice, and you'll see the difference between playing in bounty and other game modes like heist and Brawl Ball. Number 19 is going to be Shelly. I know a lot of you will hate me for putting Shelly so low down the list, but like I said, just because a brawler is so low on the list doesn't mean it's a bad brawler. So calm down, everybody. I already see you typing all the hate. But I have nothing bad to say about Shelly. She's actually very decent in pretty much every game mode possible. It just sometimes also depends on the map, but that's with every brawler, most. But the same thing as Colt, Shelly is unlocked. Well, actually, you don't even unlock her. You get her the first thing when you enter the game. It's like, here you go, Shelly. So obviously the team has to make Shelly as balanced as possible because she is sort of the main face of Brawl Stars, if you can say. And I have to say, they did a very nice job balancing this brawler. She's very nice. She's just decent at pretty much everything. And I feel like one of the best things about Shelly is that she counters tanks very, very nice. So Primo, Frank, pretty much every tank that comes for Shelly. Number 18 is going to be Dynamite. This card is also very map specific. Of course, you can use Dynamite everywhere you want. You can use every brawler anywhere you want. Nobody's telling you what to do, but you might notice that in some Showdown maps, you might not see Dynamite, while in others, you might see pretty much everyone using Dynamite. And that's because he's very map specific. That is, of course, for Showdown, but in other game modes like Heist, you might notice Dynamite like 9 out of 10 of the time. That's because he's very nice at Heist. Every long-range brawler is going to be nice at Heist, and Dynamite, he's pretty good. Especially with that spicy Mike skin, of course. You gotta use Dynamite. Number 17 is going to be Bull. Bull used to be a beast at Heist. He was everywhere. Everyone was using Heist, Bull, Heist, Bull. And there's a reason for that. He's just so nice at Heist. And also Showdown, I feel like everyone's carrying Bull. They just get one-shotted by Bull. But the reason why I didn't put him higher is because the recent Heist maps are different. I feel like Daryl is dominating those maps, and that doesn't mean Bull is bad. I'm just saying that Daryl is definitely taking his place right now in Heist. And the same thing goes for Showdown as well. He's not replaced by Daryl, but you might notice that in Showdown, you see him less and less after 300 trophies, 400, 500. But other than that, Bull is a very nice card. He still is one of my most, in my opinion, not me, not everyone else, but just me, in my opinion, the worst brawlers I have to deal with, because I'm always carrying something squishy, like, I don't know, Spike or Genie. Number 16 is going to be El Primo. You might see him everywhere in Brawl Ball because he's pretty decent at Brawl Ball. He can just walk to the goal and boom, score. He's also usable in Heist. He's one of my favorites to use in Heist, my personal favorites, along with, what's her name? Shelly, Spike. I know a lot of people don't use Shelly for Heist. It's like, what the hell, HaVoC? Heist? Shelly? But yeah, I like to use Shelly, Primo, Bull, some of the most basic brawlers in the game. I just love it. Primo, though, is also map specific. You might not want to bring Primo in a wide open map where everyone's just running loose, because you might not even get close to anybody. You might not get any kills, except if you have, of course, your super ready. Then yeah, go ahead, just fly over there and kill them. And maps with a ton of grass, Primo is your worst nightmare. You can't see him. He's like John Cena. So yeah, even though he's not good in all maps and all game modes, you might not underestimate when Primo's in the other side. Number 15 is going to be Bo. He was recently nerfed in terms of how far he can see with his abilities, but he was also given some more damage. So is it a nerf? Is it a buff? Well, I would say it's a buff. You see, when I was using Bo, it didn't really matter about how far he can see with his abilities, because most maps don't have a farm of grass. A lot of the times I was playing Bo, it was just like an open map, like gem grab, and you know, it didn't really matter how far you can see. So the fact that he got a buff for his damage is what we needed, because now everyone is not choosing Bo for his abilities. He's now being used because of how good he is. So in my opinion, he never got nerfed. They simply made him better, more usable, more versatile. So he's a solid option for most maps and most game modes. Number 14 is going to be Penny. Yes, the pirate. I don't have much to say about Penny. She's very simple. She drops the mortar. She's easy to use. She's very good at Heist. And she's pretty decent at other game modes. I don't really have any complaints about Penny. I mean, what can you hate about Penny? She's just so simple. It's just tap and shoot. That's it. And Penny is one of those cards where you just can't find a single thing to hate about. It's just, you use it or you don't use it. That's it. The only reason why she's not higher is because I feel like you might not want to use Penny in all the maps or all the game modes, but she's pretty balanced. And she's like, what, halfway through this list or less, more? Number 13 is going to be Poco. Poco recently got a buff in terms of his healing, and he's my least favorite brawlers. And that doesn't mean anything, okay? Everyone has some brawlers that they just don't like. Like, for example, some people hate using Mortis. but I like Mortis. So yeah, Poco is one of those brawlers that I just don't use, but he's very decent. And if you don't have Pama locked yet, this is your best healing option. He's a very nice support brawler, but I feel like that's pretty much it. He's like, if you've noticed when you're in Showdown with Poco, you can't even take out a box. It takes like 10,000 years. But yeah, he's more of a support brawler, so I don't know who's bringing Poco in a solo Showdown. Maybe duo, that's fine, but solo, what are you doing? Number 12 is going to be Jessie. She's a very nice control brawler. She can hit multiple enemies at the same time. It's nice. She's unique, but you have to watch out for her low health, okay? Just because she got that dragon armor or that rubber ducky or default skin doesn't mean you can go out walking in the field, because Jessie, she's very squishy, okay? Think of her as a girl. Wait. Now that I think about it, most girls in Brawl Stars are like the most squishy characters ever. Oh well, yeah, Jessie is very squishy. She doesn't have much health, so don't go out in the field. But other than that, she's a very nice brawler to control most situations. So yeah, number 11 is going to be Tara. Now, I've seen a lot of people hate on Tara. They say that Tara sucks, Tara this, Tara that. Well, don't believe a word they say. That's because they don't know how to use Tara, okay? I've seen a lot of people just say Tara plain on sucks, but it's not true. And I'm not speaking because of my opinion, okay? This is just facts. I am speaking purely facts right now on Tara. Tara is very nice when you use her right. You just gotta learn, okay? People just don't want to learn how to use Tara because they shoot one bullet. And what? That's all? That's all she does? But she's very decent at heist. Brawl ball. Just throw your super at the center of the ball and see how good she is. Especially when she's maxed, she spawns a little mini version of herself in the circle of whatever she throws. I don't know, it's like a portal? I don't know. So people, you just gotta learn how to use her. I couldn't put her down on the list because of what people say. She's actually very decent, very balanced, and very strong in some game modes. Number 10 is going to be Rico. So this one right here is one of the more harder brawlers to take down, because if you go 1v1 with a Rico, you might lose. Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes, more than half the time, you might end up losing to a Rico. I feel like Rico can pretty much play any map, anytime, anywhere. So obviously these top 10s right here are pretty much now the brawlers that you can use everywhere you go. Not entirely everywhere, but like most places. For myself, I don't even check which maps I'm playing with Rico because I know he's gonna be pretty decent at that map without even looking at it. But that's not the case all the time. You might find some maps where Rico is just plain horrible, but you gotta keep in mind Rico's bullets bounce, okay? That's like some other world stuff. What brawler's bullets bounce, huh? Except for Daryl's super, but he's not a bullet, okay? He's just like an entire brawler, but Rico, he's unique. You can trick shot with Rico, hit the wall, and it goes to the other side, and whoa, they don't know what hit them. Especially with the new skins, that boy thick. Number 9 is going to be Barley, the barkeeper, obviously. This is more of a control brawler. You might notice that he's very used often in heist. Maybe not much in gem grab, but heist, you see him everywhere. You also see him in bounty. You know, the fact that he's a control brawler, if you guys don't know what that means, it just means that he can control a situation, okay? You might notice that when people bring Barley, if you're on the opposite side, you might want to stay away from Barley's shots. Why? Because it's your natural instinct to back away from what Barley is shooting at you. And yes, I know you can dodge his bullets or go around or do this and that, but most people, they just stay away. They stay back. And that's what control means. So if you want a nice control brawler, Barley is one of the best options out there. Number 8 is going to be Brock. He's pretty decent for pretty much every game mode. He has long range. His bullets do massive damage. There's really nothing I can say about Brock that is bad. He's very nice. This guy shines in heist, brownie, gem grab, sometimes brawl ball, and sometimes a lot of showdown maps. So this one is one of the most versatile cards. Of course, not the most, or else he would be first. But, like I said, these top 10s are just probably one of the best cards you can use right now. Number 7 is going to be Mortis. Yes, a lot of people, like Tara, hate on Mortis for being so bad. It's just all excuses, okay? You gotta learn how to use Mortis, or else obviously he's gonna suck. And I'm not saying this because of my opinion, because Mortis is this and that. I'm just saying, Mortis is very nice. He got a buff recently to his damage. He's fast. If you play him right, he's an absolute beast. Of course, like all brawlers, you might want to stay away from certain brawlers because, you know, Mortis is going to be a bit squishy. You can't just go out on the field. Well, actually, no, you can because he's fast. You can just dash your way through. But what I'm trying to say is, don't just throw yourself in front of a Colt or a Bull or something like that, or a Spike. Because obviously you might just get killed because you thought that you had all the power in your hand when you just didn't. He's not invincible. He's not Bull. Okay, Bull, you can just go out and walk in front of everybody and you don't even get killed. But Mortis, you gotta learn how to use him. You gotta learn how to move your way through. And he's going to be a very decent choice. Number 6 is going to be Nita. This one is very easy to use. Decent health. And that bear. But like, geez, Nita. Number 6. Something must be wrong here, right? No, you'd be surprised if you use Nita more. She's actually very nice. And the bear is what makes her just even better. The bear is the ultimate distraction in any situation. Whether you're in front of a brawler, whether you want to throw the bear over there, the bear is always going to save you. It's a distraction. It's a barrier between you and the enemy because they have to take out the bear first, or else the bear is going to eat them alive. And the fact that Nita is just so easy to use, you can pretty much master Nita without even trying. It's just that easy to use. So definitely Nita deserves the number 6 spots. Now on to the top 5 brawlers in Brawl Stars, in my opinion. Obviously, my opinion also counts with, you know, stats and what people think as well. It's not entirely my opinion. I did some research, so calm down. It's just, I'm not entirely like telling you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But like number 5, it definitely has to be Genie. Why not number 3 or 2 or 1? Now, of course, like I said at the beginning of the video, I did have a chance to play one for Genie. And I wrote down an entire paragraph here so I don't forget what to say, because this one is very specific and I want to make sure you guys know exactly why he's number 5 and not 3 or 2 or 1, you know? Alright, so Genie, I feel like he doesn't do good in every game mode, okay? And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Most brawlers don't do well in every game mode. And even though he has an immense range, like his normal range extends further because the bullet just goes farther. You might notice that when you play Genie or you're facing Genie. Those bullets, I feel like they're only good for chipping damage or scouting through grass. You're not going to necessarily kill someone with the longer range. And it wasn't meant for that, so that's fine. Like I said, he's a very nice grass scouter, so like in Showdown, you can pretty much use him to navigate your way around, know who's over there across the whole map. Well, not really a whole map, but you know what I mean. Like, he's long range, okay? His bullets just go so far. It's unbelievable. But the only time you're truly going to take out someone is when the enemy is within his range. That's when his damage is very powerful. That's when he shines. That's when he's not OP, but very good. Besides being non-versatile in some maps and game modes, I also didn't put him far because his super, even though it's very good and when you do make the shot, it's like, it's magic. It's like you just pull the enemy closer to you and boom, you take them out. But you gotta keep in mind, it's very easy to miss. And when you miss, that's it. There goes your super. There's nothing left. You don't do damage. You don't do nothing. It's just... But I feel like Genie is a very good brawler though. So yeah, is it worth getting Genie? Is it worth trying to unlock him? Yes. Go ahead. I recommend you to try and unlock Genie. He's that good. But... like I said, he's not higher up in the list because of these reasons. Number 4 is going to be Leon. Now, if this was like last month, he would have been like number 1 because he was the best brawler. Everyone could have told you so, that Leon is the best brawler. He's OP, he's this, and that. But he did get a nerf, so keep in mind he's not the best of the best anymore. So at number 4, I feel like he's comfortable at this spot. I still use Leon for, you know, Showdown, Bounty, and it's pretty much the same brawler that we all knew, just a bit less powerful, okay? If you want a brawler that can be used in most, if not all maps, definitely has to be Leon. Well, number 3 is going to be Daryl. Daryl is dominating. I mean, jeez. Daryl is everywhere. He's so strong now. I mean, like, I picked up Daryl the other day. I thought he sucked. I mean, Daryl was one of the brawlers that I didn't like. And I tried it one day. I'm like, let's just try it because you can't exactly hate a brawler for just seeing people use it, right? So I gave it a shot, and not surprisingly, Daryl is now one of the top 3 of my favorite brawlers. That's not the reason why it's on the top 3 right here though. Daryl is just that good, okay? He's easy to use, does tons of damage, and it's hard to kill when he jets and just gets in your way. Like, he can jet anywhere, or he can jet to you and just boom, double shotguns, you're out. So it's one of those brawlers that you have to watch out for. Don't underestimate Daryl, because when his super is charged, which by the way is self-charging, you gotta watch out for that roll, okay? Another side note as well is that he can dash farther when he's dashing through water. So if you dash right to a water, like a water pond, you might notice you can go even further. So yeah, definitely at a very comfortable spot at number 3. Number 2 is going to be Pam. Pam, 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 huh? Mama J, whatever you want to call her. Pam is ultimately, and you can't deny this, the best of the best control brawlers in the game. Especially when she's maxed, when she shoots, she's like healing everyone around her. You can't deny this is the best control brawler. You might notice that when everyone's playing like a robo challenge, people always asked, who has a max Pam? You know why? Because max Pam is the best. You can just be around her and you're constantly healing yourself because you're right next to Pam. Other than that though, her damage is so good. Long range. She's very tanky, so she can just escape any situation. And even if she's not maxed, her turrets, her healing turrets, they work so well. They have a long range. You can put them behind a wall and boom, you're set to go. Whether it be gem grab, showdown, or anything, really anything. It's just Pam is your choice. And finally, on to number 1, you guessed it. Which brawler haven't we talked about yet? Spike. Yes, Spike. In my opinion, and the community suggestions, and other YouTubers, and just this was a hard choice, okay? I didn't just choose Spike because I think he's good. I chose Spike because really everyone chooses or accepts Spike to be one of the best and most versatile brawlers in the game. Of course, he's not the best brawler, but when it comes to picking a brawler that you can use in any situation, any map, pretty much everywhere you want, anywhere you want, Spike definitely has to be my choice and pretty much everyone's choice. You can't deny it. So yeah. But guys, that should be it for ranking all 23 brawlers in Brawl Stars. Of course, I know you guys will have your own opinions and suggestions, so go ahead and leave them down in the comment section. Let's start a comments war. My fingers are ready. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching. HaVoC Gaming out.